The Solid Waste Committee on the Lower Mainland is about to try pushing a large rock up a very steep hill. Just yesterday, it gave the green light to a new way of dealing with vast amounts of garbage produced across Metro Vancouver. Instead of trucking it all to a landfill, the trash would be burned in a new high-tech incinerator. And while the committee argues that's the best way to go, there's a huge concern about air quality issues.
Even on an overcast gray day, you can see the polluting haze moving west to east over the farms and mountains in the Fraser Valley. They are mostly out-of-region pollutants, and Abbotsford is ground zero when it comes to saying no to more dirty air.
When Metro Vancouver proposes a huge facility that's going to spout out the most toxic and use the most toxic, complex, and unpredictable fuel on the planet, then, yeah, we get a little cranky.
As an Abbotsford resident, it is a little disconcerting when you see some sort of an effort like this that'll impact air quality being pushed by our neighboring regional district. That's a little bit disappointing.
The problem for Fraser Valley residents, garbage incineration. Metro Vancouver voted yesterday to eventually phase out its only small facility in Burnaby, replacing it with a much larger, cleaner one, capable of eventually burning half the Lower Mainland garbage. The problem for the valley, it means on windy days even more pollutants could be heading their way.
It is still, no matter how you look at it, the most toxic, complex, and unpredictable fuel on the planet. And it's important to note the distinction between the actual toxins they're required to measure and report and what's really coming out of that stat. You're only hearing about what they have to report.
Abbotsford, like Metro Vancouver, sends most of its waste to the Cache Creek landfill, with a smaller amount going to a landfill in Washington State. The Fraser Valley community says through recycling, it's reduced its air contaminants to 15%. The remaining 85% still comes from the U.S. and Metro Vancouver, and they don't want it to grow. Those pushing for zero waste think the very fact that there's negative reaction to incineration means the Fraser Valley is winning the debate.
What we've done is we've collectively, our communities in the Fraser Valley have raised the level of discussion about waste management to the point where we don't believe it's going to be necessary to build incinerators, even if they wanted to, even if they were approved, they wouldn't need to build them, because we're going to reduce our waste to the point where it simply won't be useful.
You think you've already won?
I think we've won.
With the Cache Creek landfill reaching capacity and Fraser Valley opposition mounting against incineration, that makes Metro Vancouver's goal of reducing waste, increasing recycling from 55% to 80% in the next 10 years, an absolute must.
What is it about practice?